Longboat Energy is a rapidly emerging full-cycle North Sea exploration and production company with a portfolio of near-term, low-risk exploration assets. Now, since I last spoke to the chief executive, discoveries, multiple have been made. I'm delighted to be joined again by the chief executive, Helge Hammer. So Helge, Caveasia, it's the fifth well, the third discovery in your 7-well drilling campaign, but Caveasia, how much of a surprise was it, the results?
We were extremely happy with it. You know, it came in better, even better than we had high hopes for it, obviously, but it is coming really on the positive side, like above expectations. So extremely delighted with that. It's a kind of just quickly. It's excellent reservoir. It's good, very significant size. It's in a real sweet spot in the Norwegian continental shelf.
So I'm just wondering about the size of the resource that you're targeting now, because of course there's 2 more wells to explore.
Exactly. So now, I mean, now the next 2 wells are very exciting because they are very big. You know, with Longboat, we like gas, and we like gas near infrastructure in Norway. I mean, in the recent last half year, that's become even more valuable. And these 2 that we are drilling next are both high back distance to infrastructure, very significant size. So if they come in, they'll be incredibly significant for us.
So we're talking about Cambozola and Copernicus. At least I can say the names of those 2. So there's a lot of hype about it being Copernicus in particular, being a very large gas prospect. But you've got to be careful about tempering in investor expectations. But how confident are you that Copernicus in particular is going to be large?
Well, I think they are. It is exploration, obviously, so it carries exploration risk. So you never know. But these both Cambozola and Copernicus are very large mapped exploration prospects. So they're based on seismic data, and these days we have extremely high quality seismic data behind all the prospects we drill. So if they come in as we have mapped them, then they will be very sizable. Yeah.
So last September I spoke to you, and then a couple of weeks later we heard about the material discovery at the Egyptian Vulture exploration well. So what is the time frame on that one? What's the latest before we get on to Cambozola and Copernicus?
Yeah, no, Egyptian Vulture it came in close to prognosis. It came in with a reservoir which is around 17 meters thick, and that covers an area of 80 square kilometers. So it's a vast area, and that means that before that can move forward to development, you need to have an appraisal well. You have to have a better understanding of what you have before you can make big investment decisions. So we are working with Equinor. Equinor is the operator. It's a very big company in Norway, and they drill a lot of wells. So we rely on their prioritization of wells and drilling schedule, what have you. They have indicated a decision point on appraisal of Egyptian before the summer, because then we can do a site survey, and then we can come in with a rig next year. So that's the plan for Egyptian Vulture. So hopefully a decision in late May, early June.
I'm just wondering, in the meantime, though, because it's been a few days since we've heard about Caveasia, whether discussions with other parties have already started, because a lot of investors are wanting to know, what's the plan? Trade of this discovery into a producing asset, taking it forward to an appraisal campaign, following the template that's been set by Egyptian Vulture.
Yes, I mean, Kveikje, I think differently from Egyptian Vulture, and Kveikje is immediately a much better understood discovery. So it still has an uncertainty range, but the reservoir is well understood, the seismic is well understood, the oil quality, everything is so it is an asset that can be traded. How long that's going to take is difficult to comment on, but it's not going to happen in 5 minutes. You know, it takes a while, Equinor, who's the operator, has made a lot of discoveries in that area, and there are different partnerships. And we've seen in the past that aligning partnerships, that means some swapping, maybe to make sure the right companies are presented in the assets. That's a strong driver for transactions. There's been several, just in that area, there have been several transactions like that. So we are open-minded. We're very focused on value. We focus on getting value for what we have. That may involve a swap, it may involve a sale. We could also take it forward to development, because the tax regime that is now proposed in Norway will allow small companies to have much stronger kind of financial propositions for development, where we could have debt at reasonable terms and lower amount of equity involved. So it represents that there are a lot of options on the table, and we are kind of focused on getting the value out of it.
And I appreciate that you have to keep the cards close to your chest, because there is a lot of competition out there, and you don't want to give an asset away for free, particularly with energy being at the forefront of political and macroeconomic discussions.
True. I mean, I think that the whole business case for Longboat has just improved. We're very excited about where we are, you know, focusing on being in Norway, near infrastructure, tiebacks, low emissions. Like Norway is really one among the strongest in terms of ESG. So the opportunity is fantastic, actually, now to build a company, strong ESG performance and delivering gas. And I think the final point, gas as a transition fuel, I think is more and more accepted. That we're going to have gas for quite a while still.
Gas. So I'm wondering if you're still looking at M&A opportunities that are gas related in Norway or here in the UK.
Yeah, we are. We're screening a lot of opportunities, continue to screen opportunities. We are all shareholders, so we remain very focused on value, deals being value accretive, you know, so, and to be honest, production deals are quite hard to deliver with the prices we have at the moment, because you have to pay very full price. But we continue to chase that, as well as also looking at some developments which could be interesting for us with the new financing, as I said.
In terms of finance, last time you and I spoke 6 months ago, you had $40 million. Are you still, or £40 million? Are you still well funded for the remainder of this exploration campaign?
Yes, we are actually. We're very impressed with the rigs. You know, the rigs in the North Sea are incredibly efficient these days, and the wells we have drilled so far, the 5 wells, they're all on or slightly below budget. So we have a bit of, we definitely financed for the last 2, and we have a bit of headroom on top of that.
So taking everything into consideration that we've discussed, what is the potential upside of this particular exploration campaign?
That's very significant, because the last 2 well, the next well, Cambozola, we have 25%, and that could be a TCF of gas again, and so that could be incredibly significant. If it comes in a really good way, it could be a company maker, and likewise with Copernicus. So the last 2 ones are really big targets. So exciting.
And we'll leave it with that. Thank you very much, Helge Hammer, Chief Executive of Longboat Energy. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thanks, Sarah.